Okay, so the idea came from really trying to set myself some challenges in my spare time of getting some designs done that I was enjoying as a graphic designer, and not always getting the most interesting of briefs in from clients. I wanted to do something that was a bit more interesting for myself. So what I decided to do was actually give away as many desktop wallpapers digitally as I could to people. And Championship Manager, something that I loved, was what I decided to choose as a subject. And it proved to be very popular, giving away probably about 150 to 200 desktop wallpapers to lots of people all over Twitter.
Tell me about the first player you drew then. What got this started for you?
The first one I drew would have been Taribo West, for obvious reasons, the most striking of characters, and one of the most famous names on the game, basically because he comes on a free transfer at the start of the game, and anybody can sign him for nothing as long as you've got a reasonably decent club that you're in charge of. And rather bizarrely as well, he's probably the only character I've ever done that doesn't include a face.
Doesn't include a face? Right enough. I've got him on the wall behind me here, and yes, it's the back of his head. Those famous dreadlocks.
Yeah.
I'm flicking through some of the postcards that you sent me. Lots of names are familiar to me because, likewise, I've played a lot of Championship Manager. Yeah. What sort of reaction do you get from people? I mean, do people buy Sergei Nikiforenko cards?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I do the postcards in sets, so people can pick a team. People can buy 11 cards off us, or they can buy as many as they like, really. But yeah, Nikiforenko is obviously one of those. People will take advantage of a cheap player who turns out to be an absolute worldie. And it's guys like that where people will get back to you and they'll say, great to put a face to the name, because some of these guys, people will have, they'll have bought them hundreds of times and never considered what they actually look like.
So when did you think you had a business idea here? When did it change from drawing wallpapers to saying to yourself, I can make a few quid?
Well, I didn't say it to myself, really. Other people kind of said it to me. There's a really good community on Twitter for Champ Manager. Champ Manager Legends has a big community there. So yeah, there's a couple of sites in particular, and a bunch of other guys who sort of said you need to be offering these as prints. I'd have one up on my man cave. People would say I'd have one up on my wall if the wife had let me, and all that sort of stuff. And people just began asking us for them. So I kind of increased the range, increased the choice.
Have you ever had feedback from the actual players?
I've had feedback from a few, yeah. I've had some positive feedback from people like Sebastian Frey, the goalkeeper, French goalkeeper. There are people like to sign from Parma, one of the best on the game. A couple of other guys, Taribo West as well, liked his. So yeah, there has been a few. And recently launched a calendar as well, which has found its way into the Sports Interactive offices, where some of the original guys who set up the original Champ Manager games still work there, and it seemed to go down well there too.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant to hear.
But very often they all come from requests, because I always do commissions and requests for people. So I've currently got a range of managers, Clough, Mourinho, Ferguson that somebody's asking me to do, and then stretches even further. I've got currently doing an Ayrton Senna that someone's asked me to do. So no sports off limits, no subjects off limits really. People request musicians and all sorts, but obviously it's the sport ones and the football ones that do sort of resonate with the most people.
And if people want to find out more, how do they get in touch with you, or how do they buy your stuff?
Well, I'm on Twitter as Citizen Edwards, and that is how I like to do things, because I think at the moment there's no website, because I like the direct message way of doing stuff. So anyone who wants to get in touch with me is via DM. That's how I take my requests. That's how I discuss commissions with people, and that's how I get to properly understand what people want as well. They can also go to my page, click on my Pinterest link, and see all about 150 different Championship Manager players.
Brilliant. That's great. Ian, thanks very much.
Cheers.